Hello, Richard here. In this video, I'm going to show you an assistance feature that I'm implementing in Ayup and a agent that I've created using the Prem platform as an assistant in Ayup. So the original idea behind Ayup was that you'd install it on a machine somewhere, like local machine or like a server somewhere, and then you'd very easily be able to deploy to that machine just by providing some source code, and Ayup would figure out how to build and deploy it. Um, so we're kind of expanding this. Ayup can now generate code as well, or in fact, Ayup doesn't do anything like that, but the assistant plugins will be able to do that. So the first assistant plugin I've made does some code generation, and you can kind of do this in a loop. So it generates some code, Ayup collects the logs, and then pipes it back round. And it's like a human in the loop agent. So you decide to keep going or not. But okay. So let's show you this first of all, so you can see what's happening. So okay, let's first start Ayup. We're going to start it on our local machine. Yeah, you'd usually start it this way on a remote machine, but because I've provided a libp2p address as the host, see up here I've said host, and this is a libp2p address. We don't really use many of libp2p's features, but we use it for encryption. So I've provided the host as the local host, and then it's given us a login command that we can use to connect. So I can copy this, and then if we go to this other window, we can now we can log in. Okay, so we've got this login command. Try to connect. Asks us, do we want to connect? Yes. Okay. And now we're set up to push to this server, and it's using an encrypted connection. And it'll remember us in the future as well. So I've got another video on libp2p if you want to go and check that out. At least I think I do. Anyway, so we've set up that connection. And now let's try and generate an app. So I'm gonna, first of all, we're gonna make a spec file. Actually, let me just show you apps blank. So got a blank directory, so there's nothing in this directory. And this is going to be like our working directory. Okay. So we're going to create a blog post app, which is one I've experimented with before, but it always comes out slightly different. So I'm going to say we want to an in-memory blog application. A title and body. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that for now. So that's like our spec file. And then all we need to do now is push that. So we're going to specify where the application is. And we're going to also specify an assistant. So can see here there's just like another directory where our assistant source code is, and for now we just specify the assistant as an extra source code directory, but you can kind of imagine that we could specify a container or a GitHub repository or just like some global identifier for well-known assistants, whatever. And that's like our main assistant that's going to do something for us, in this case generate some code. So let's try pushing that. Okay, so it creates a container on the fly that our assistant runs in. And now it's generating some code. So now it's calling prem platform, which then calls out to Anthropic Claude. Okay, so that's finished now. It's generated the code. It's copied it into the output directory. And now it's gone on to the usual Ayup deployment process, where it's looked at the source code that the assistant has output, and it said there's no requirements file there. So we need to know what requirements file we need. And it's asking, do we want to generate it? Which we can do. We can generate it using piprex, which is a nice script. Okay, so then it's deployed it. It's generated a container on the fly, and then it's running that container. It's actually running it inside BuildKit. And it's forwarding the ports to us, which is not really necessary on localhost, but that's what's happening. So we can go here and we should be able to view this blog. So you can see that it's worked. There's no errors. Okay, so we can make a post. Try refreshing the page. Yeah. Make another one. Yeah, so we see we can make blog posts there. Okay, so let's say now. Okay, so now what we want to improve on this, I guess. So we'll stop that. And it's the files it's generated. It's copied those back out. So we can go and look at the source code it's generated. It's just made like a standard Flask app, and it's got like a big template there that it uses. Okay, we can see here. So it's got an in-memory. It's just got like a dictionary as its in-memory storage, and yeah, it's like quite basic. So okay, what can we do? Well, we're getting this warning. This is development server, user production WSI, whatever, you know. I don't like this warning, so I want to remove that. So I'm going to create another file now called fix. I'm just going to say I don't want any I want you to fix the warning. Okay. Actually, let's make it in the log. I'm just going to spell it out a little bit for Claude. Okay, then let's try running this again and see what happens. See whether it fixes that warning. So you can see now in the assistant's log output that it's got the original source code just there, and then we can see that I'm saying I want you to fix the warning in the log, and then the log output has been included just there. So okay, so it's generated a response to that. Let's see whether this response works. I can see the word Gunicorn in there, so that's good. Okay, so the log output's changed quite a bit now. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, let's try this again. Oh no. Ah. Um, where are my posts going to? Oh, got another random post there. Seems to get back a random post every time. Okay. All right, so something's gone wrong there. I mean, I think if we look at the source code and think about what this log is telling us, we've got multiple workers now. Okay, let's go and look at the source code. So, yeah, this bit looks similar. It's importing Gunicorn now. Gunicorn, I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. Gunicorn is a web server. So I'm guessing what it's doing is it's starting up a production web server to try and fix this warning, which is what we want. But in the process of doing this, it's introduced a bug, and yeah, the server it's starting it with 4 workers, which I'm guessing are going to be separate processors. So it'll have 4 instances of this script running, which means, we've got an in-memory blog, which means we're just like saving blog posts to a dictionary. So, yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have like 4 instances of our blog here. Okay, so what can we do about this? Well, we can go back to fix. Okay, so okay, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to say blog posts. So yeah, the blog posts disappearing. Sometimes I get 1 or 2 visible. Uh, they, um, so I mean, we got to try and spell it. They randomly come and go. I mean, I don't want to tell it exactly what's wrong. Um, can you make them okay, so let's try that. Okay, let's try it again. We'll see if we get an improvement or whether things get worse. Okay, I've also given it a bunch of log that includes like stuff from build kit, something to put a mental note against. Okay, so it's generated it again. It doesn't look like we've got any new dependencies. Okay. For some reason I always add W to the end of hello. Oh, it stayed. That's great. Okay, so it seems to have fixed that now. Let's go and see what it did. Okay. File to store blog posts. So, okay. So now it's using a file now to save and load blog posts, which fixes the problem. It's even introduced file locking, which is good, I guess. So don't get like race conditions between our different blogs. But yeah, okay. So it's kind of gone back on itself because we did ask, because in our spec file we are asking for in-memory blog application. But okay, I mean we could carry on with this and try and get it to do something a bit better. But let's, instead of looking at that, let's go and look at some of the features we use from the Prem platform to help with developing this. Okay, so inside the Prem platform we have various different projects. The project I'm currently on is the Ayup dev project. So I mean this project, if we go to the source code, we specify up here like the project ID and our Prem API key, and then like we can sort of configure the project. We can choose which model we want to use from here, and set some other things like system prompt. I mean, we can also do that in the code as well. I don't have a system prompt here, but I've set a system prompt in the code down here. So you can see that got multiple choices about where we want to configure things. So you can quickly change it in here or in the code. It's up to you. I've got a history here of what are the models we've used and the number of traces. So if we go to the number of traces, then we can see that like these are like the most recent requests that we sent. So yeah, we want to make an in-memory blog application. So this is like a little chat that I generated. Yeah, and you can see that this message here is what I generated in the assistant, and it includes the fix file, and then it includes the log output that Ayup collected. Oh, and then we get a message from Claude saying, "I apologize. Oh, so sorry." Which, I mean, it doesn't need to apologize because we never see that, but having this bit of text here actually seems to help Claude. It likes to think out loud, being an LLM. It's the only thing an LLM can do really is generate more tokens. So letting it think and say something before outputting the code seems to help. And then here's the its solution and some more stuff that it was talking about. And then you can see here what system prompts was used for this request and some other parameters and whatever. Okay. So this traces feature is a feature I really like. It's really helpful to see what's your inputting and outputting for each request. And of course you can do this in code as well, but it's just a nice way to view things. And another thing that I was using, we go to lab. Okay, so the lab is good for like comparing what kind of outputs you'll get from different models. And also comparing the difference between parameters as well, so you can have the same model but different parameters. And you can see here I've not got any system prompt in. Now, if we look at the results to my original request, I mean, it's pretty much the same request as I originally said, except that I'm asking for Markdown. And all three of these major models have produced an output where it's making an in-memory blog, but it's doing it on the command line in the terminal. So it's not importing Flask or anything into that. And if you look in the system prompt that I've provided, you can see that I've specifically said that when you create an application, I want you to the application must listen and port 5,000 bind to all addresses because they run inside a container on Linux. So if we add these, we add that system prompt and try again, we can see how this changes things. So you can see now, yes, they're all producing a Flask app now. Claude's like really getting into it there. Wow. It's gone really wild there. So yeah, you can see like what kind of stuff you get with each model. Okay. So yeah, that's it.